Hello everyone, welcome back to the Talos Principle 2. Last time we solved this puzzle and we met with linkers face to face. Or maybe that was the time before last. Anyway, we are today continuing the puzzles of this, well, probably not dead area because I definitely hear birds. Maybe it's just fall and the leaves have fallen. Oh yeah, see the leaves? They're right down here. Okay, it's not nearly as dead as I thought it was. So today, we are going to find more puzzles and hear what Trevor has to say. There he is. Against decay. From selective archive documents, we live in a decaying system which in turn produces ideologies of decay to justify its existence. No matter what cultural signifiers they get packaged with, these ideologies come down to the same material result. A future in which for the average person, there is less of everything. To paraphrase Mark Fisher, we find it easier to imagine the decline of civilization than to imagine a civilization worth living in. Those of us who still believe that humanity can thrive, that there is a path forward other than willful or accidental decay, are out of sync with the system. No matter how we phrase our arguments, they will be perceived in terms of whatever cultural signifiers the listener opposes. It is a deeply frustrating, depressing, even infuriating situation. But what can we do except patiently explain and hope conditions change? In other words, what can we do except have faith? We can help bring about that change, that's what we can do, in our own lives and in the lives of the people around us. This was written only a few months before the discovery of the virus. There was no time for conditions to change. Okay, that is one that I 100% I feel this. Not so much where I live now, but I've definitely been to places and lived in places where there was a mentality like that. Founding 11. From Hypatia's Journals, Volume 1. It's been a while since I last wrote an entry in my journal. Much has changed in New Jerusalem. We've put up a good chunk of the planned living quarters, and the old storage facility has been converted into a movie theater of all places. So we still argue a lot, but it's mostly about which film we'll be watching next. Other construction efforts are going well too, although we've begun to run out of readily accessible resources. Our scavenging expeditions are ranging further and further afield with each passing month, and the sites that they have reported on sound truly marvelous. One day I might want to go see for myself. It's a good thing in that regard that we'll getting 2 new citizens soon. There's a word missing. Because everyone is as busy as ever. More hands to help us build our future. I can't wait to meet them. Sounds like things were exciting back then. What's up, Trevor?
How is this supposed to work? The system is meant to last centuries. Centuries! And yeah, Chernyshevsky's plan, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But I'm working with hardware that was deliberately designed to fail. Planned obsolescence, baby. Selling broken garbage just to make another buck. A buck you can't even spend because in a few more weeks, we'll be extinct. Was it worth it? That's the part that Alexandra doesn't see. The greed. The stupidity, the selfishness, the way that we created this whole situation in the first place. She wants you to be like us, but if you ask me, there's a whole lot of human history and behavior you can just throw away, chuck it in the trash, right? You have a chance at a fresh start. Make the best of it.
Oh wow. I can't even complain about him complaining because I feel the same. 4. Surfing. Alright, this is what we can do. There's no fan there, we need a fan. What's the button do? It opens nothing. Maybe it helps us to do the thing? Oh, I see. So we can open this if it's on top of there. Alright, let's go back. Alright, a box. Now we can get here without the boker. That's not a word. I don't know what my brain was thinking. This music's really nice. There we are. No, we need our box back here. And then that one too, why not? No, whatever. Need it just a little farther. Can it reach from here? Yes. Oh, no, there's a gate in the way. Okay, now it's time for a fan. Oh, we know what to do with this. Okay. Now we got a connector, which we want to attach to here, here, and there. Actually, we could have just taken that one. Put it on top. And now we just need this. Oh, the fan's just perma on. Oh, that's okay. That's good, because it doesn't reach the thing. Okay, so the button did open the door. I thought the button turned on the fan. Alright, I got it. I got it.
Excuse me. I was looking at your research log, and I was rather perplexed by the latest upload.
What was it?
Melville strikes again.
Oh.
Is that your foot, Melville?
Yes. Do you want to see it up close? Although you won't be able to fully enjoy it as you don't have a rear camera.
Sorry, Mayor. Melville just has a unique way of taking pictures.
Next time you're getting an upgrade, you coot. I'm installing a mute button.
Wait. Oh, I thought that was electric water. Why is it flashing like this? Is something wrong with the lighting engine? Alright, Prometheus is aiming over here. I'm gonna get... Actually, first, let's look at this picture. You got your foot on the 9, and it's blurry. What has Melville been doing? These things must be connected to the Noema system. Maybe I should dig one up to see how it works. There's also... Have I been up here? This looks familiar. Nope. From Arinia. Athena, I know that we didn't have the greatest relationship and I frequently antagonized you. The truth is I resented you. Resented this mythology of the Founder. I thought you had created it deliberately as a way of controlling us. I wanted so badly to be free and you seemed to stand in the way of that. Only after you left and the cult of personality grew even wilder did I realize it was actually a burden and an impediment to you. When they turned your myth into the opposite of everything you actually believed, started tearing down your dreams in your own name, I realized I'd wronged you. And now I'm less free than ever. I feel the walls crushing me. I don't know where you are or what you're doing. I don't know if coming back would fix things, but I'm sorry. Oops. Atlas. Atlas and Ladon, from the Atlas Variations by Athanasios. After 1 billion years, when Atlas had grown old and tired of holding up the world, he was faced with a dilemma. Heracles, the son of Zeus, was on his way to the Garden of Hesperides to claim the golden apples, which were guarded by the dragon Ladon. Zeus came to Atlas and promised that if Atlas helped Heracles slay the dragon, Zeus would free Atlas from his burden. But Atlas, seeing the beauty and innocence of Ladon, believed beloved of the Hesperides, could not slay the beast. Instead, he stole the apples and gave them to Heracles, and so he was condemned to bear the weight of the cosmos for another 1,000,000,000 years. But although Atlas grieved for his freedom, he was comforted by watching Ladon flourish in the verdant garden. It's along the themes of, we work hard for great things, but we may not to be around to reap the fruits of the great things. And I have a feeling this game is about to turn in a way that I'm going to love. Wild Fragment. From the soul of man, sympathy with pain there will, of course, always be, as one of the first instincts of man. The animals which are individual, the higher animals, that is to say, share it with us. But it must be remembered that while sympathy with joy intensifies the sum of joy in the world, sympathy with pain does not really diminish the amount of pain. It may make man better able to endure evil, but the evil remains. Sympathy with consumption does not cure consumption. That is what science does. Christ made no attempt to reconstruct society, and consequently the individualism that he preached to man could only be realized through pain or in solitude. The ideals that we owe to Christ are the ideals of the man who abandons society entirely, or of the man who resists society absolutely. But man is naturally social, even though they became people that last. And though the Cenobite realizes his personality is often an impoverished personality that he so realizes. Shallow speakers and shallow thinkers in pulpits and on platforms often talk about the world's worship of pleasure and whine against it, but it is rarely in the world's history that its ideal has been one of joy and beauty. When you tell people that a society could be built on the ideals of joy and beauty, they think you're a utopian fantasist. If you tell them society will always be built on exploitation and greed, they think you're wise, and so they make the outcome inevitable. Performative cynicism has always been the hallmark of adolescence. But has there ever been a society of adults? Can there ever be one? Why is this childishness so extremely powerful, more powerful than joy and beauty? It kind of brings to mind something I've been thinking. I heard a while back, and it might have just been from questionable sources that I used to get my information from, but I heard a while back of the idea of like a post-truth society, that the internet, well, okay, some of the sources for this were pretty good. Like the internet was supposed to bring everybody together and we would see how similar we are, and we would want to stop fighting and work together for a better future. And then they're like, oh no, that didn't happen. What happened is we got, well, I was looking for Prometheus. We found the internet helped people find people like them, and then we created all these bubbles, and now nobody cares about truth anymore. I disagree. For me personally, the internet was a very great source of seeing different people and learning different ideas and discovering new ways of thinking and getting closer to truth. And I think that the internet didn't create our bubbles. The internet revealed that we're already living in so many bubbles, and people are angry. They don't want to believe they've always lived in a bubble. They want to believe they're the ones with the truth and everybody else is stupid. And so I see this time as I have seen this time as an adolescent phase of humanity. And I still think the internet will turn out, and our connectedness will turn out to be something great that brings us together. It may not be for a few hundred years, but I do believe that's where it's going to go.
Father, what is my purpose? Do I have a purpose? Mother says purpose is something we choose, but I feel like there's something there. Something that's been there from the moment I was born. Maybe even before.
Well, there are many ways of looking at this, and everyone's experience is different, so you'll have to make up your own mind. But I have a little theory, if you'd like to humor your old man.
Of course. What is it?
The universe is eternal, but it's always lost in a deep, dreamless sleep. You are a tiny little bit of the universe that's suddenly woken up, and you've realized that being awake is better than being asleep. And that gives you a purpose.
And what is my purpose?
To be, Miranda. Just to be.
I think I literally said the same thing in my playthrough of Anodyne a couple of years ago. Yeah, I got some thoughts on that, but first we got ourselves a puzzle. Where is this Sphinx? Here we are. It is left, down, down right, and middle right. Okay, so let's find a perspective by which this can work. So maybe this, left, down, down right, yeah, there we go. Should be these four, right? But it says I can reset it, so I want to stand on it so I can get a better view. So can this be seen? Is it similar from a different perspective? Maybe. No, these are the small two by themselves. There's only one spot on here where there's a small two by themselves. Maybe I have it backwards then. There we go. Haha. Came over here for Prometheus, found the Sphinx. Yeah, the idea with purpose, I have personally never struggled with the question of purpose because I always knew since I was like 13 or something that I wanted to write books. And anytime the question of purpose has come up for me, it has been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a novelist. And I've never struggled with, I've struggled with a lot of things, but that is not one of them. So, I mean, I get that not everyone is as cut and dry as that. Other people have to look for it, other people have to question whether it exists, and, you know, I can't say that purpose does exist for everybody, aside from existing and recognizing that being awake is better than not being alive at all. But yeah, I guess maybe I'm not the best person to talk about this since I haven't really struggled with it. Can I get farther over there? This is deep water right away. It's like Prometheus, I think this is the edge of the map. Prometheus was looking this way. I didn't find him. This is like up there. I doubt I can get up there. Well, here's the Sphinx.
If the answers of philosophy are true, why has no philosopher changed the world?
Has no philosopher changed the world? I think that's not, I feel like that's not true. Like, I think... Well... I don't know, I think there's interpretation to be garnered there. Because, like, you know, the Enlightenment philosophers happened before capitalism, right? We got, like, John Locke's theory of life, liberty, and property, and... I mean, I guess the question is, did that philosophy drive a change in the world, or did the people who changed the world just adopt that philosophy because they liked it? I mean, you can think of, like, Karl Marx and the Soviet Union, but, like, that was nothing like Marx imagined communism would be. And, it ended up just being power-hungry people taking charge and controlling the narrative, or speaking the narrative to the disgruntled proletariats who worked for them, and then just, you know, it just became not... Well, I don't know how it compares to how it was before the revolution, but I would not want to live in the Soviet Union myself, that's for sure. You know, as much as I'm not a fan of where I live now, there are a lot of places I would not trade it for.
You know, when I decided that we should call ourselves human, I did that because it seemed like a powerful symbol of our continuity. But the truth is, and I'm ashamed to admit this, I thought we were better than them. I thought we understood the value of civilization, and we wouldn't repeat the same mistakes. But the simulation worked too well.
We're not just like them. We are them.
We really are.
But that doesn't have to be a bad thing, Athena. We may have the same flaws, but we also have all the potential they did. Everything that Alexandra Drennan saw in them is also in us.
I hope you're right. I really do.
Also, it makes them relatable to the players. Yeah, so just to finish that thought, so like the question is, did Marx actually change the world, or did Lenin and Stalin just use his ideas to justify what they were already going to do? What's up, Herman?
What can I do for you, 1K?
Could the theory of everything be used safely? About the founder, tell me about Cornelius. Who's running the city while you're gone? Alright, we'll talk about Cornelius.
Cornelius is responsible for many innovations. He helped create the designs for the upgraded body you inhabit, although the founder chose to remain in her original configuration. But in recent years, he had settled into a life of quiet scholarship. Or so it seemed.
Who's running the city while you're gone?
My chief aide, Jeremy, is in charge for now. It's good practice for him, in case he decides to run for office one day.
Could the theory of everything be used safely?
Let's assume for a moment that we could use it safely, which I doubt. Does that mean that we should? Is it right for us to dominate the world? We value our own freedom. Should we not also value the freedom of all the living things with which we share this planet?
This is one of those times where, like, I know that I disagree with what he said, but I can't explain the logic of it. About the founder.
Not now. Let's have this conversation at another time. You still have a lot to do. Better get to it.
Sure, okay. Deers! Alright, so I was trying to find Prometheus's thing, and it didn't work, so I'm gonna run in a straight line this way. Looks like it goes really far. I'm gonna go as straight as I possibly can. That's this way, I think. Or this way? It's hard to turn it around exactly. Oh no, it's right toward this puzzle. It wouldn't be inside the puzzle, would it? This is the way I ran last time, though. And I found that. Oh, there it is. Ah. It's up in the beaners. I don't know why I called it that. Elements. Ah, there's a fan here. Gimme! Not nearly high enough. Maybe I need like 4 boxes or something. Alright, there's that. Can it take this out of here? Probably not, right? I would be surprised. Alright, so what do we need? There's a passageway over here with a gate and the end. Alright, and it's got blue. So there are 2 connectors. Oh, hey, look, a blue one. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Maybe it can go up here. Oh, hey, look, a blue. Can we get the platforms on top of other platforms? Will it go that way? It will. Okay, watch the shadow. And the going up. Alright, turn on. I gotta know what happens, right? Ha! Maybe I could get the blue if I were on top of those. So, can I reach the switch? Oh, jeez. Well, no, let's not target that. Let's just do this one. And then use this one. Good enough. Alright. Oh no, it's going backwards. Dang it. Okay, well, let's go through its full cycle. I don't suppose I can... Nope. Okay. So what I'll have to do is... I'll have to be riding it. You know, let's just solve the puzzle first, and then we'll try to get the blue. Okay, where are we going? We're trying to get a blue laser over here. Okay. Can this see the... I think it can. So, we don't need this anymore. So, blue. And blue. And place. There we go. Fan turns on. It is not high enough. But we can put this one in place so it is high enough. Yeah! That was cool. Not very hard, but it was cool. The hard part and the fun part is going to be getting us up there. New interface content. Places of longing, Athens. Is that it? And there's more research too. Aethelvok. To understand what humanity is capable of, what it means to flourish, we have to look at the golden age of Athenian democracy. The list of geniuses who lived in Athens at this time is so long it's almost inconceivable. Probably also a very long period of time. Also, they killed people a lot. Like Socrates was sentenced to death for corrupting the youth. Like that's not a society I would want to live in. But you got the Rivendell looking picture up there. Yeah, looking back to a golden age like the Garden of Eden or Athenian democracy or you know, the reign of King David. Not a great outlook on life. If you were actually there, you'd not enjoy it. Pericles, Sophocles, Aeschylus, Phidias, Euripides, Herodotus, Thucydides, Plato, Socrates, Hippocrates, Aristophanes, Aristotle, and the list goes on. I've heard of a few of those. These are people who changed world history. Without them, there's no Straton of Stagera, which was how the Sphinx, or how Pandora pronounced him, to inspire Alexandra Drennan. Without them, we do not exist. Was it a perfect time? No, undoubtedly not. But listening to flaws obscures the greater truth. Given the opportunity, given freedom and resources and space to grow, human beings are capable of incredible things. It would mean everything to me to walk the roads where these people once walked, to stand where they stood and think about the world as they dared to. Alright, do it! Not physically, but think about the world as they dare to. What do we got for new research? Alcatraz on sincerity. I managed to extract the following text string. I am always struck by the degree to which our ancestors, in the years before the end, struggled with sincerity. They became poisoned with irony, unable to parse any information through anything except a thick layer of alienation. This left so little space for any kind of intellectual authenticity that they seemed to exist in a state of permanent agony. Ironically, that in turn made them extremely susceptible to the few sanctioned forms of sincerity, which were acted as a means of social control. Then there's a gap, followed by, there's something equally damaged in our own estrangement from our humanity. We mimic the forms and behaviors of our human ancestors, but we don't act like proud inheritors of the human condition. Everything we do gets filtered through this perpetual awareness of their shortcomings to the degree that we act as if our existence was one of their failures. Author unknown. Whoever it is, I understand what they mean, but disagree with their conclusion. This perpetual awareness isn't a form of alienation, it's a way of learning from the mistakes of our species. Unpleasant, but necessary. I was focused so much on doing an owl voice that it didn't really pay much attention to the text. Okay, that's pretty sad. I don't have much to say about that. I try not to feel that way myself, and I don't think of things that way. But also, you know, could be something that a lot of people struggle with. Bootstrapping. If what Prometheus revealed about the theory of everything is true, then it explains a lot of patterns I've been finding. Almost every artificial structure on this island was printed into existence in some kind of energy-to-matter process, or maybe by different versions of that process, some earlier and less effective. And I can only assume that the megastructure itself was created by bootstrapping, having one machine make a bigger one, which probably means you could create a relatively small device that turns itself into a complete megastructure. Or you can make a machine that just deploys more and more of itself and builds something. A city in a box? Depends on the power source, I guess. That is a description of a cell. A living cell. Yep. Bootstrapping, having one machine make a bigger one until you make an entire megastructure. Or you can make a machine that deploys more and more of itself and builds something. Yeah, that's a cell. That's building life. Is that all that's in here? Yep. Still says there's 2 more. Oh yeah, this. Part of an ancient communications... Wait, the text here is different. Okay. A shattered section of a device used by the ancients to communicate over vast distances. At the height of ancient human civilization, most of the human species was part of a single network. That'd be called the internet. I guess I haven't looked at this. Already solved that one. I'm still looking. Oh, right. Prometheus. I didn't get the thing yet. Okay. How do we reset this one? There's an easy way. And then there's the methodical way. I'm going the methodical way. Okay, this is gonna have to move. What happens if it hits the connector? It just pushes it, right? It didn't hit it. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna diffuse you. So how do I do this? I have to turn the fan on and then jump on a platform as it gets here. Maybe I only need one. Yeah, and you get in the way. There we go. So it bounces back. Alright, so what happens if I just turn this on and then I hop on the blue? Maybe it'll be high enough. I hope it's not. Yep, it's high enough. Here we go. What do you think of this, Herman? Oh, that's just 1K running by again? Who knows what he's up to this time? Did I mention that I love this music? It's so delightful. It's like following a fairy through the woods. Where are you going? What? How am I supposed to get that? Maybe I can run on the rail. Here we go. Oh. Huh. How far can we... Oh, it's gonna say, like, you cannot go... Or exiting safe zone or whatever. That was cool. I mean, I better stay up here. You might just come right back up here. No. Heck! Made it. Nailed it. Oh, yeah. What have you got for me, Prometheus?
Great works have been accomplished by those who believed in humankind. But greater things than these may yet be accomplished by those who uphold the faith.
Faith in humankind.